The crimson waters of Kepler 442b churned violently as Commander Sarah Dragon Chen dove beneath the alien ocean's surface. Her powered exosuit cut through the dense liquid like a blade, emergency beacons painting her HUD with urgent red warnings. Somewhere in these depths, a Phylixian scout had crashed, and time was running out. The Galactic Council had dismissed the distress signal initially. One Phylixian life wasn't worth risking human assets, they'd argued. The cat-like aliens were expendable, scouts, bred for reconnaissance missions across hostile worlds. But Dragon had never been one to follow orders that went against her conscience. Her sonar pinged against twisted metal 50 meters below. The scout ship Whisker's Edge lay crumpled against a coral formation that pulsed with bioluminescent warning patterns. Through the fractured hull, Dragon could see movement, weak, desperate scratching against the inner walls. "Still alive," she muttered, pushing her suit's thrusters to maximum. The ocean's crushing pressure would have killed any unprotected human instantly, but Dragon's Mark 7 exosuit was humanity's finest engineering achievement. Where other species had evolved specialized organs or grown thick carapaces, humans had built their advantages from scratch. She tore through the ship's hull with her suit's plasma cutters, sending bubbles of superheated gas spiraling upward. Inside, a small Phylixian floated unconscious, its orange and black striped fur matted against its compact body. The alien's gill slits fluttered weakly. Phylixians could breathe both air and water, but the crash had damaged its respiratory system. Dragon scooped the creature into her arms. It was barely larger than a house cat, though she knew its mind held the intelligence of any spacefaring species. As she turned to ascend, her proximity sensors screamed warnings. Something massive was moving through the water toward them. The Leviathan burst from the coral forest like a living nightmare. 30 meters of muscle, scales, and fury, with rows of crystalline teeth that could slice through starship hulls. Kepler 442b's apex predator had been drawn by the vibrations of the crash, and now it saw two perfect meals floating helplessly in its territory. Dragon's weapon systems came online automatically. Plasma cannons, gravity disruptors, and kinetic penetrators, enough firepower to level a city block. But the Phylixian in her arms was barely clinging to life, and the shock waves from her heavy weapons would kill it instantly. Instead, she did something that would have seemed impossible to any other species in the galaxy. She smiled. "Come on then, ugly," she whispered, and activated her suit's melee protocols. What happened next would become legend among the starfaring races. Commander Chen didn't flee from the Leviathan. She charged it. Her exosuit's fusion core redirected power to its limbs, transforming her into a missile of human determination and engineering prowess. She slammed into the creature's snout with the force of a meteor strike. The Leviathan reeled backward, stunned. No creature had ever met its attack head-on. In its simple brain, prey either fled or tried to hide. They didn't punch back. Dragon pressed her advantage, using her suit's grappling systems to anchor herself to the beast's hide. Her plasma cutters scored deep wounds across its flanks, while her kinetic drivers delivered precise strikes to nerve clusters she'd identified in her suit's tactical database. Humanity's greatest strength wasn't their technology. It was their willingness to study, adapt, and fight anything the universe threw at them. The battle lasted 18 minutes. When it ended, the Leviathan fled into the deep waters, nursing wounds that would heal, but leave it with a healthy respect for small metallic creatures. Dragon surfaced with the Phylixian still clutched protectively in her arms. As her rescue shuttle arrived, the alien stirred to consciousness, its large amber eyes fixed on Dragon's helmet, then down at the scorch marks and gouges covering her exosuit. The Phylixian's translator collar activated with a soft chime. You fought a Leviathan. For me." The voice was soft, filled with wonder. My name is Per-77 Alpha. Why did you risk your life for a mere scout? Dragon removed her helmet, revealing a face scarred by a dozen different battles across as many worlds. Her dark eyes held a warmth that surprised the small alien. Because that's what humans do. We don't leave people behind. The Phylixian's whiskers twitched, the equivalent of a human smile. The council said humans were aggressive, violent. They didn't mention you were also insane enough to fist-fight ocean monsters. That too, Dragon laughed. What happened next would reshape galactic politics forever. Per-77 Alpha returned to the Phylixian homeworld with a story that spread like wildfire through their neural link networks. The tale of a human who had fought a Leviathan bare-handed to save a single alien life challenged everything the galaxy thought it knew about humanity. Within weeks, Phylixian diplomatic channels opened private communications with Earth. Within months, 3 other species had broken ranks with the Galactic Council's human containment protocols. The Council had painted humanity as barely controlled savages, too dangerous to be trusted with advanced technology or membership in galactic society. But Dragon's actions revealed a different truth. Humans weren't just warriors. They were protectors. They didn't just fight for territory or resources. They fought for principles, for the idea that every sapient life had value, regardless of species or status. The first Phylixian ambassador arrived at Luna Station carrying a gift, a collar similar to their translator devices, but modified with human engineering specifications. It was a symbol of partnership, of 2 species sharing their strengths to become something greater. Commander Sarah Chen, the dragon who had punched a sea monster to save an alien cat, became humanity's first interspecies liaison officer. Her motto, printed on every human starship thereafter, became the foundation of a new galactic alliance. We don't leave people behind, any people anywhere. And in the depths of Kepler 442b's oceans, a scarred Leviathan still told its offspring cautionary tales about the small, impossible creatures that punched back when the universe tried to eat them.